All right, and we'll finish off with obviously your new area, or we've had a couple of startups in this field. We've had a couple of businesses in the startup world. Obviously, as you know, startups is a challenging environment compared to obviously you're competing against big companies, mature, set in their ways. But now, I guess with the changes of AI, obviously there's more. I guess you've got more access to like decision making, and I guess better and quicker analysis to obviously try and obviously path your way into the market. As a startup in a new environment is a challenging task. So what do you think is going to be the big opportunities here for utilizing AI in the startup world?
Wow, this is a massive topic. Okay, I love this one. So thank you for asking this question. And you know, the confluence of these two things, AI on the one hand and startup on the other, that's like just amazing, because you know, at the end of the day, what are startups all about? You know, these are new companies, you know, incepted companies, can be, you know, really in the early stage, and you know, not even have a proof of concept, or you know, an MVP or a minimum viable product. You know, all these kinds of things. And startup, either a founder or founders or whoever's involved in the startup, they know that, especially in the beginning of the journey, one is just as much the CEO of the company as one is also a janitor in the company. Yeah, there is no the whole bandwidth is covered. What I mean to say is that pretty much everyone is expected to do everything, and there's so much going on. And the reason why there's a lot to do is that just there are a lot of tasks, yeah, and they're all very spread out, and everything is important, and everything needs to be done in a ideally in a structured and logical way, but that's not reality. That never happens, yeah, unless you know, someone really goes into this with you know, some kind of lot of experience, and you know, they know exactly what they're doing. But that's not the case. So a lot of time gets consumed basically in just getting the basic things done. What we are finding, you know, so you know, a lot of the AI innovation is now being used to develop, you know, even things like if it's a startup, let's say, you know, software as a service, or you know, just as a mobile app company. Just to get to the MVP, what used to take months, maybe years, and lots of funds borrowed from relatives or borrowed from friends and family and all that kind of stuff, all that path is shortened using you know, tools that are AI driven, that use templates, that you know, code for you, and all these kinds of things. All that development time has come down to a very short amount, into a so there's a lot of process efficiencies. You know, processes are way more efficient now, and way more leaner than they used to be. Yeah. Even, you know, the challenge of managing one's calendar as a startup founder, that's the biggest task, right? Because either you're doing it all the time, or you're just giving up at some point of time, saying, I can't manage my calendar because every time I try to do something else comes up. Yeah. And especially if you're in a CEO role, you know, the problems distillate up towards the CEO or just the CX, whatever level. Yeah, that's where you get to know, I mean, you know, when things are running good, you know, people are just doing their stuff. But it's obviously the problems that one gets involved in. So there's a lot of saving that is, you know, cost saving by way of the process optimization, and you know, just avoiding mistakes by using procedures that tools that are AI driven. So I was talking about calendars. Now there are even calendars that are managed by AI. Yeah, so you can make your task list, and you know, you can and you know, you won't be able to do the tasks because there are so many of them, and you're going to get distracted. But there is a system that has your back and is you know, is categorizing these things by the priority you have given these tasks, and it's helping you get to your goals. So a lot is lost in chaos, or what used to be lost in chaos or in a startup hustle is now being structured very discreetly yet also very effectively using AI tools. So that is an amazing thing, yeah. And then obviously, talking about startups, the biggest challenge for startups is scalability, yeah. So I'm actually writing a book right now that on startups, and it's got the 3-stage model called Get Set, Go, and Grow. Yeah. So Get Set is just getting set up, getting ready. Go is the launch day, the big day of the launch, and then the launch thereafter. So that's the go, and then grow is scalability, yeah, or getting your startup scaled, because that's what the whole game is about. You want to grow and scale your startup, and AI tools are massively assisting that. Yeah, that is so cool to see. And we used a lot of these some of these tools, a lot of these methodologies also in doing our startup work as well. So I'm super excited about that. Now, the ones who keep up with this wave and this development, they'll automatically develop a competitive advantage. Yeah, and these are the startups who will also be potential disruptors to players out there in the market, right? Who are challenging people in their market. So that's another thing to look out for, that there is a certain amount of, or a lot of competitive advantage that is to be gained. One could use AI to say, I'll just get it to do all the grunt work. That's great. Yeah, even that's time saving, that's efficiency. But there are also very intelligent ways of using artificial intelligence. Yeah, and that's where the human value added comes into play.
Yeah, it's just always just having that right process. Obviously, there's a lot of talk, like I've obviously both been involved in the startup world. There's a million and one things you can do, and you can easily get lost doing different things. But if you work in the right structured mode, to get the input, obviously, like you said, startup's all about scaling. You want to do the money making activities first, so obviously you can scale. And then obviously there's other bits and pieces that you need to do, but obviously it's working in that structured environment. And yeah, like you said, there's tools out there that can just keep you aligned, because your mind can go everywhere when you got to do
all over the
one
place. Yes, absolutely, great.
Brilliant, cool. Well, is there anything else you'd like to add? I think obviously the key takeaways is obviously companies will benefit implementing AI. Obviously, big one, I guess, cost efficiencies. Obviously, the efficiencies in saving time is just, I think, it's going to be the big ones at the minute, because it's a competition out there. Everyone wants to get ahead of their competitors. And obviously, the way to do that is saving time and obviously saving money, and then you can obviously use that money elsewhere.
Exactly, absolutely. Use money and the resources that get freed up, and also get reallocated actually to other tasks.
Better word. Yeah,
it's fantastic. That's the way to look at it. And I'd just like to say that there's a lot of hype, and also a lot of skepticism about AI. All in all, if there is a fair amount of regulation that is needed, and healthy amount of regulation, most of regulation is actually good. Yeah, when you come to think of it, and I've been in industries that are massively regulated, right? I mean, the energy industry, or for example, railway transportation industry, as such. Yeah, these are now some software topics that we've been doing that touched upon many regulated industry, highly regulated industries like finance, and even medical technology and things like that. The thing is that regulation is not bad. Yeah, as such, it's actually needed to keep everybody safe. There's some amount of regulation. Some regulation can be a bit annoying. Yeah, for sure. But broadly, it's okay. And certainly it's needed for AI. So there's no doubt about that. So if one takes a very measured approach to it, I think one can really take this to the next level. And I think where AI is going to have probably the single largest impact is the area of education.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one sector that we didn't talk about, but that's where the entire paradigm is changing. The way we used to learn is not the way we are going to learn going forward. That's reality. Yeah. So in my free time, I'm also a professor at one of Germany's largest university and universities. So I know for a fact how AI can actually completely transform the whole paradigm of education, not just now, but also especially going forward. And one just needs to be open to it. Irrespective of, we've talked about a lot of industries, we've also talked about education. At the end of the day, all the tools that we create and all the technologies used, we can never forget the human element on either side of the technology that's being used, the ones who are creating it and the ones who are going to be the users or beneficiaries of it. So that's the key thing when talking about AI.
Yeah, it's like I say, obviously all these changes are great, but you need to implement it correctly. Obviously,
Right.
getting the people, obviously, like I said, people will be allocated new jobs. Like it's going to be as AI progresses, but you need to be training people to. There's no point implementing something if someone can't use it because it's going to just cause problems.
Oh no.
So you need training and development is going to be, I guess, a key area for businesses to make sure you have process. And like obviously, change management is key because obviously change within businesses, people get set in their ways of working, and obviously people, obviously with this new technology, changes will happen. So people got to be adaptive to obviously work in this new way, learn the new tools, etc. Obviously but then again, that's where leaders come in. They need to be like the educators here to look, this will benefit you, benefit your career, benefit the efficiencies. So yeah, it's definitely a lot of interesting times ahead. So yeah, and like I say, I think we could be all day talking about every industry because every industry is going to be affected, or not affected, impacted, shall we say?
Impacted, yeah. Yes. And I kept it high level purposely because we can really go down deep into each of the industries. So I just want to give you a flavor of what and your audience obviously, especially so a flavor of what the possible impacts and challenges are. But always free for always open to have more conversations with you on this topic to dive in deeper if that's needed anytime.
No, it's been great. It's been great. I really appreciate your time. And like I say, we'll obviously, we'll see what the future holds with AI, and obviously, hopefully, in a lot more interesting times ahead.
Only good things, hopefully. All right.
Thanks, Amir.
Pleasure. Have a good one, Ben.